Talking about transfers, Manchester United, according to David Ornstein, he has reported that United, they say they have no intentions, in caps, of meeting the Paris Saint-Germain asking price for Manuel Ugarte, of course, around 60 million euros. They say they will not be swayed, to making outrageous payment for a player, and of course they are considering other options, numerous options United are considering. Sir Kanute, would you say this is the same Manchester United of old, when they negotiate, because the negotiation for Manuel Ugarte didn't start today, for about 4 weeks, 5 weeks they've been negotiating, talking about Manuel Ugarte, and of course at the end they are saying that the price is outrageous, that they will not be swayed to paying an outrageous amount for Manuel Ugarte, looking for other options. Like United, at the end of it all, they will say, okay, we've tried to get so and so players, but unfortunately the price tag wasn't fair to us. So at the end of it all, they will sign just Joshua Zirkzee and Leniero for Manchester United, like they do in previous time, negotiating for players for 1 month, 2 months. At the end of it all, they are unable to get the player. Is it the same United of old, or United are throwing a new part, looking not to spend a humongous amount of money on other on players that they are interested in? But if that is the case, what happened to Leniero? They spent much money on Leniero.
Exactly. I was coming there. I was really coming there. It's like you took the word out of my mouth. But you should I think fair enough to Manchester United. If you look at clubs all over Europe, spending this season has not been. Nobody has spent a huge amount of money. Spending has been a bit limited. Yeah, you will know the reason. The FFP.
Yeah, kind of limited.
Exactly, the FFP rule, all clubs, because it's not easy. Even you think that the money is there. Even Chelsea that usually spends a huge amount of money on players are spending wisely. So, but I think there are a lot of factors. One of the factors is that the players that Casemiro is still there. What is his name?
Scott McTominay.
Yeah, exactly, he's still there. And even the likes of the ones that they said they want to say, what's his name? The Swedish, he's still there. So I think, but to me, I think Ugarte, 60 million euros is more like something of close to 50 million pounds. And with his age, I think he's not more than 24 years old. He's still young. So I don't feel that but the fact is that probably they want to look at who to go at first. Maybe if McTominay leaves, I don't know, they sell him to Fulham, then probably they will get him. To me, but I feel it's a fair price compared to what happened with Euro. Although Euro is a bit younger, maybe he has prospered. But if you are spending that amount of money for a player that have a year left in his contract, then why don't you spend something close if you know that this guy is actually quality? But I'm looking at, okay, they have to let some go or not. But they want to still negotiate. You know why? Because they know that they're in a good position, because PSG need to sell. Because PSG just spent a huge amount of money for a young lad, they need to sell. So they know PSG probably will cut their this transfer probably will likely happen. Probably towards, you see the 2 weeks to the end of the transfer, you see a lot of things unfolding, a lot of players coming. You see it will happen definitely, because I know that position definitely, the Ugarte deal is still there, and I believe that they will always find a solution to get him.
All right, Sonny Bobo saying that they will not pay an outrageous amount. Is it a way to make Paris Saint-Germain reduce the devaluation? Because the Paris Saint-Germain, they are not moved at all. 60 million euros is 60 million euros for Manuel Ugarte. If you like him, come get him. If you don't, go ahead. Of course, if you look at it from another angle, United, are they going back to the default settings that they will negotiate for a player for months, and at the end of it all, unable to get the player, and of course stick with just 2 signings and manage the rest they have going into the new campaign?
For me, I think Manchester United, they don't want to. I think they are trying to. What will I use? What would I use now? Because previous seasons, you see the way they spend recklessly, and just like I need to mention, every team is trying to, because of the FFB rule and all that, not to breach that rule. Because if you breach that rule, you know the consequences and all that. So Manchester United, I think they are just trying to be careful about the whole thing. Now I think the Ugarte as PSG, we saw it last season. His play time was limited. When you have him, the last audition young lad, the Portuguese guy, and then the Emily Zera and all that. So those guys are playing. They play ahead of him. So I think at some point, maybe towards the end of, maybe PSG will consider that. That is exactly. I feel that Manchester United, that is where they are looking at. Maybe PSG would lower the price, because he will not get that playing time with PSG next season. And as for him, maybe he will say, maybe okay, I want to force a move away from this club. But Manchester United, I believe they are not going to trigger it. They just love it that way. PSG at the end of the day would say, okay, this is is what we want. Okay, let us have a deal and all that.
All right, yes, those are the words coming from David Ornstein reporting that Manchester United, they say they will not be pressured into paying an outrageous amount of money for Manuel Ugarte. 60 million euros. Paris Saint-Germain are requesting about 40-something million pounds. But United, they have refused, saying they want to consider other options. Is the Manuel Ugarte deal off? Or United are looking for possible ways to make Paris Saint-Germain reduce the valuation for Manuel Ugarte? Or they want to go back to United of old, where they negotiate for months for a specific player, and at the end of it all, they are unable to lay their hands on that player, and they give excuses about finances, of course, the difficulties in making a deal happen. Is that the Manchester United we are looking at currently?